All right, let's do it. Today we are diving deep into How to Be Fucking Awesome by Dan Meredith.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests for this one. You guys want us to break down that YouTube audiobook summary.
Oh, cool.
And let me tell you, this guy Dan Meredith, he did his homework for this one.
Really? How so?
3 years. 3 years of research into what makes people successful.
Wow, 3 years. That's a dedication.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just like theory. He's really dug deep and figured out what actually works.
Okay, well, I'm hooked already. What kind of stuff did he find?
Well, he kicks things off with a piece of advice that you might not expect. Ready for this? He says to be selfish.
Be selfish.
I know, right?
Wow.
It sounds kind of counterintuitive, especially when we're always told to think of others.
Yeah, like put others first, be selfless, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Meredith's point is that so many of us, we're so busy putting everyone else first that we end up neglecting our own dreams and well-being.
Okay, I see, yeah. It's like you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
That's a great way to put it. You can't help others if you're running on empty yourself.
Makes sense.
And he actually uses a really powerful analogy to illustrate this point. It's the whole, the oxygen mask on a plane
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. You got to put your own mask on first before you can help anyone else.
Exactly. You have to prioritize yourself, take care of your own needs before you can truly be there for others. Makes sense, right?
Totally.
And to really hammer this point home, Meredith shares a personal story about how he achieved this amazing six-figure success.
Oh, wow.
But here's the thing. He was totally burnt out.
Hmm?
Miserable. He realized that all that money and success didn't actually mean anything if he wasn't happy and healthy.
It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, isn't it? Chasing those external markers of success, but forgetting about what really matters.
It is. It's so easy to fall into that trap. But Meredith's story is a good reminder that, money isn't everything. Taking care of your mental and physical health, that's got to be a priority.
Yeah, for sure. You got to find that balance, right? Between achieving your goals and actually enjoying the journey.
Absolutely. And you know what else he talks about?
What's that?
He says you got to cut out the toxic people in your life. Like, get rid of them.
Oh, that's a good one. We all have those people, right? The ones who just drain your energy and hold you back.
Yep, we all do.
Yeah.
And, it might be hard to do, but it's so worth it. Creating that space for yourself, surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people, it can make a huge difference.
It really can. Sometimes you got to make those tough choices to protect your own well-being, create that right environment to thrive.
You got it. So you've ditched the negativity, you're taking care of yourself, you're ready for the next step, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. What's next?
So Meredith says the next step is to unleash your shameless and weird sides.
Shameless and weird.
Yes.
Both of them.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Think about it. Think about a time when you were too scared to go for something. Like maybe you had an idea, but you were afraid of what people would think, so you held back.
Oh, yeah, I've totally been there.
We all have. But what Meredith is saying is like, stop caring so much about what others think. Just go for it. Be shameless.
He's basically saying, embrace your true self, don't hold back,
Yeah.
live your truth.
Yeah. And it's not just about being fearless. It's also about embracing the things that make you unique, like your weirdness.
Embrace the weirdness, huh?
Yes. Embrace it. We all have those little quirks and things that make us different, and sometimes we try to hide them.
Oh, for sure. We think we need to fit in.
But Meredith's point is that those quirks, those things that make you different, those are your superpowers.
Of superpowers?
Yeah. Think about it. Like, we all love unique items, right? Like a one-of-a-kind piece of art or a vintage find.
Yeah.
Well, people are the same way. What makes you different, what makes you stand out, that's what makes you interesting and memorable.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Meredith, he actually shares a story about how he used to hide his, he called it his geeky side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought it wasn't cool. But you know what? The more he embraced his true self, the more his audience grew and the more successful he became.
That's awesome.
It is. He even says, and I love this quote, he says, the more I was me, the more money flowed into my bank account.
So being yourself is the key to abundance. I love that.
I know, right? It's like when you embrace your weirdness, when you're not afraid to be yourself, good things start to happen.
Like you attract the right people and opportunities.
Exactly. So, yeah, figure out your strengths, figure out your weaknesses, and then let that unique you shine. Don't be afraid to be different.
Okay. Love it. Embrace your weirdness. Be shameless. Got it.
Now, here's where things get a little interesting. Meredith, He throws us a bit of a curveball.
Yeah.
He says passion might not be the best guide.
Wait, what?
Ah.
Really? But everyone's always telling us to follow our passion.
I know. It seems counterintuitive, right? But what Meredith is saying is that passion, a lot of times it comes after you get good at something.
So you don't necessarily start with a passion, but you develop it along the way.
Exactly. So instead of chasing some elusive passion, he says, you should start with your interests. Like, what are you naturally curious about? What do you enjoy doing?
Okay, so start with your interests, and then what?
And then be honest with yourself about where you excel and where you need to improve.
And speaking of honesty,
Yeah.
you are not going to believe what this guy did. He sent out, get this, an anonymous feedback form.
A feedback form, like a survey.
Yeah, to like everyone in his life, asking them for brutal honesty about his character.
Oh, wow. That's brave.
I know, right? Like, who does that?
So what happened? What did people say?
Well, he jokes that after reading all the feedback, his balls would be flat as pancakes.
Ouch.
But you know what? He said it was that raw honesty, even the painful parts, that helped him identify areas where he could improve.
He used the feedback to grow. Yeah. Instead of shying away from the tough stuff, he leaned into it. He used it as fuel to become a better version of himself.
That's a powerful lesson.
It is. And it brings us to another key point, investment.
Investment, like financial investment.
Well, yes, but also investment in yourself.
Mm.
See, once you know your weaknesses, once you've been brutally honest with yourself, that's when you can start investing in developing the skills you need to overcome those weaknesses.
Okay, so you identify your weaknesses, then you invest in yourself to improve in those areas.
Exactly. And Meredith, he's got a great example of this. He talks about how he invested in getting personal training qualifications.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then he invested in a facility. And then he was like, okay, I need to get better at marketing, so he invested in developing his copywriting skills.
So he was constantly learning and growing and investing in himself.
Yep. He was always looking for ways to level up.
Yeah.
And that's something we can all do.
Yeah. Figure out what we need to work on and then find ways to invest in those areas, whether it's taking a course, reading a book, or hiring a coach.
Exactly. It's all about continuous improvement.
Awesome. So we've got be selfish, but not a jerk. Embrace your weirdness, be brutally honest, and invest in yourself. What else you got?
You ready for the next piece of the puzzle?
Hit me with it.
All right. So now that you're being your authentic self, you're investing in your growth, the next question is, how do you become so interesting that people can't help but be drawn to you?
Oh, that's a good one. I definitely want to know the answer to that.
Me too. And luckily, Meredith's got some insights on that in the next chapter.
Let's dive in. So how do we become, like, magnetically interesting? Is it like, knowing a bunch of random facts or something?
It's not really about being a trivia expert or anything like that, Meredith says. It's more about being genuinely curious about the world.
Oh, okay, curious.
Yeah, like those people who are always learning, asking questions, and really engaging with what you're passionate about.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they just have this, like, energy, you know?
Yeah.
They make you want to learn more.
Makes you feel like anything is possible, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're not afraid to change their minds, like if they learn something new.
They're open to new ideas.
Totally. It's like that growth mindset thing we talked about, always learning, always growing.
So how do you, like, cultivate that interestingness?
Well, Meredith suggests some pretty cool stuff,
Like what?
like visiting art galleries, reading all sorts of different books, and traveling to unusual places.
Ooh, I like those.
Right. He even talks about some pretty wild experiences he had, like, get this, visiting the Playboy Mansion.
The Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. And he also tried waterboarding himself.
Waterboarding. Okay, maybe that's a little too far for me.
Maybe, But I think the point is to push your boundaries, Step outside your comfort zone and try new things.
Yeah. It's about expanding your horizons and experiencing new things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even if we don't all go to those extremes, we can still apply the same principles, like reading, taking notes, learning to tell stories, making people laugh.
Those are all things that make you more engaging and well-rounded.
For sure. So it's not necessarily about the specific activities, but the underlying idea of being curious and trying new things.
Got it. So be curious, try new things, and don't be afraid to get a little weird.
Now, what about those people who, like, try to bring you down when you start putting yourself out there?
The haters.
Yeah, the haters. They can be so draining.
How do you deal with those guys?
Meredith has a really simple but powerful piece of advice. Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah, like let your actions speak louder than their words.
Mm.
Don't waste your energy arguing with them. Just keep doing your thing and let your success speak for itself.
Love that. Actions speak louder than words, right?
Speaking of action, let's talk about productivity. This is something I'm always trying to improve.
Me too. I feel like I'm always looking for ways to get more done.
Well, Meredith, he's got this amazing get-it-done attitude that I really admire. And, it's amazing how something so simple can turn into something huge.
Oh, really? How so?
So one day, Meredith just decided to start a Facebook group, an accountability group.
An accountability group. Interesting.
Yeah, and he had no idea it would take off the way it did.
Really? How big did it get?
It now has over 4,000 members.
Whoa, that's incredible. So many people wanting to be more productive and support each other.
It's crazy. It just goes to show you how much people crave that kind of structure and support.
For sure. Community is so important.
Okay, so what are some of his top productivity tips?
Well, he's a big believer in planning and scheduling.
Oh yeah, planning is key.
He says you got to block out time for the important things first, like fitness, personal development, family time, those kinds of things.
Makes sense.
And even, get this, train journeys to nowhere.
Train journeys to nowhere.
Yeah. He'll literally hop on a train with no particular destination in mind and just focus on work for a couple of hours.
So it's like his way to escape distractions and just get things done.
Exactly. It's like creating your own little productivity bubble.
I love that. What other tips does he have?
He also uses this really simple ranking system to prioritize tasks. He calls it the 1-2-3 ranking system.
Okay, how's that work?
So ones are your most critical tasks, the things that absolutely have to get done.
Got it.
Twos are important, but not urgent. And threes are things that can be delegated or done later.
That's super helpful. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to try that.
And to really dial in that focus, he recommends theme days.
Theme days.
Yeah, like Mondays for planning, Tuesdays for client work, Wednesdays for meetings, and so on.
I like that. It creates a rhythm for your week.
It does. And he has one more really important tip. Establish a morning routine and avoid social media first thing.
Oh yeah, the dreaded morning scroll. I'm so guilty of that.
We all are, but imagine how much more you could get done if you started your day with intention.
Right, like maybe meditating, going for a walk, or working on your most important task before the distractions hit.
Exactly. It's all about setting yourself up for a productive day right from the start.
Okay, so we've got planning, prioritizing, theme days, and a solid morning routine. Got it.
Now let's talk about something that's super important for success, finding your tribe.
Oh yeah, your people.
Those like-minded people who support your journey and lift you up. And just as important is recognizing those relationships that might be holding you back.
Ooh, that's tough, but important.
It is tough. Meredith doesn't sugarcoat it. He says that friendships can change as you grow and become successful.
Yeah, sometimes you grow apart from people.
Sometimes it's just not a good fit anymore.
But that's okay. It just means you're making space for new connections.
Exactly. So how do you go about finding those awesome people, your tribe?
Well, Meredith has some great tips. He suggests joining Facebook groups and forums, attending events and seminars,
Those are good ones.
and even just trying new things.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there and seeing who you connect with.
Yeah, got to expand your circle.
He really emphasizes the importance of adding value and being genuine. It's not about spamming people or trying to sell them something.
It's about building real relationships, right?
Exactly. And you know what else he talks about?
What's that?
The value of investing in coaches and mentors.
Oh, yeah, those are great. People who have already achieved the things you want to achieve.
Yep. They can offer guidance, expertise, and even connect you with their networks.
It's like having a shortcut to success.
Kind of. He actually shares a story about how he found copywriting clients by attending fitness events and just striking up conversations.
So he was just being himself, networking, and building relationships.
And it paid off. Sometimes the best opportunities come from unexpected places.
True.
So we've covered a lot. We talked about being interesting, being productive, finding your tribe, and even the importance of mentors.
It's like a blueprint for awesomeness.
I know, right? So what are some of the things that really resonated with you from all this?
I think the biggest thing for me is the emphasis on action. Meredith is all about taking bold steps, embracing your weirdness, and proving the haters wrong.
Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat things. He's just like, get out there and make it happen.
And it's a good reminder that we all have the power to create the lives we want.
Exactly. It's not about waiting for permission or inspiration or whatever. It's about taking ownership and putting in the work.
It's about making a choice to be awesome.
Yes. And I love that he reminds us that no one is special, but you are unique.
Everyone has something special to offer.
It's not about comparing ourselves to others. It's about embracing our own strengths and turning those ideas into action.
I love that.
It's easy to get stuck in that, like, dreaming phase, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally.
But Meredith, he's all about breaking free from that and actually taking action.
He's like, stop dreaming and start doing.
Exactly. And he has this great line. He says, no one is special, but you are unique.
Ooh, I like that.
It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about owning your strengths, your quirks, and actually making those ideas happen.
Yeah, and he didn't really see a change in his own life until he, like, really made sacrifices and put in the work.
It's so true.
No magic bullet, just consistent effort.
It's inspiring, though, right? To see how he went from feeling kind of lost and unfulfilled to, creating this awesome life for himself.
It gives you hope, for sure.
Like, if he can do it, we can too.
Exactly. And I think what I love about this book is that it's not just theory, it's practical stuff you can actually use.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this question. What's one thing from Meredith's advice that you could apply to your life today?
Oh, good question.
Right. Like, is it finally setting boundaries with that toxic person? Or maybe starting that project you've been putting off?
Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor or just like taking a small step towards a goal.
Whatever it is, just take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start.
And remember, as Meredith says, embrace life, love work, have a dream, and be awesome.
That's the perfect takeaway. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into how to be fucking awesome. We'll see you next time.